All right, what is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I seriously appreciate you tuning in today. We are back here with my 2006 Nissan 350z, and as you guys saw from one of my uploads last week, we actually walked outside, started the 350z, and it turns out we have a misfire on cylinder 2. So basically what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be fixing that. Take a listen. That doesn't sound right. So it was giving us a check engine light, and we were actually able to drive it over to Top Notch Auto last week. We hooked it up to the OBD2 reader right underneath the dashboard, and it turns out that this cylinder right here, the cylinder 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and cylinder 2 right here in the front is actually out. Which one's? Oh, cylinder 2 misfire? So basically what we're gonna do is, I don't know if you can see, but down in here, there's right underneath this wiring harness piece, there's like this black box, and that's basically what we need to pull out. That is a coil pack. And so pretty much, as you can see, it looks like we're gonna have to take off the strut bar, the intake tube as well, just so we can take off this wiring harness piece right there, so we can get to that. So let's start doing that. I think this is a 14 millimeter. It looks like we're missing one already, so it shouldn't be terrible. Last one. There's a little clip right here. All right, strut bar has been removed. I wonder how much rigidity that actually adds. All right, so I took off the strut bar. Now we need a 10 mil. All right, so we got our 10 mil on here. Basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this intake off of here. I didn't bring a screwdriver out here, so I'm gonna switch my 10 to an 8 really quick, and then I'll be able to just take this off. So now once this is unscrewed, this should just slide right off of here. So I'm gonna leave the MAF sensor basically connected, and I'm just gonna pull this off of here, and then, oh, forgot about that hose back there. So when you go to take off this intake tube, there's actually another hose. I think that's the intake side. Boom, that's removed. All right, now this should be able to just lift it, and I just want to put it to the side right here. All right, intake tube is removed. Now you can get to the coil pack. So this is a coil pack number 2, 4, and then 6 is back here underneath this wiring harness piece. So what you'll have to do to get to this is, there's a 10 mil right here, and that's probably the only one we'll have to remove. So let's see. Oop. Wiring harness bolt. I should be bagging and labeling everything, but I'm not. So, and what you can't see, there's another 10 mil right back there. It's right down in there. Oh gosh, that one's way down in there. Boom, that's the back one. And then let me grab that washer so it doesn't. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now the wiring harness can be moved and we can get to this coil pack. So this is the one that should be in question here. I gotta take the power off with this. You should just pinch it and should just pull right off, right? Just like that. So the power has been removed. Make sure, if you're doing all of the coils, make sure to put this power back to this coil. If you put this power on that coil, you'll have another misfire again. So let's just take our 10 mil, pull this coil pack out with that bolt right there. Hopefully you can see. All right, there's a coil pack screw. So I'm gonna put that to the side while we pull this out. It should just pop right out. There it is. There's no date or anything, so I can't really tell. But now we have, so basically what I wanted to show you is, I don't know if you can see, but if you look down, you can kind of see down into that spark plug hole, which is what's crazy is these coil packs, they transfer basically like 50,000 volts or something to the spark plug to create the spark. Look at this NGK packaging and everything. I love it. Old and new. NGK, it's been a fairly good brand. All my spark plugs are NGK, so I've had pretty good luck. So hopefully this works. We're gonna put this back inside. Should just sit right down in there. Okay, so now let's get our screw. All right, don't want it to be too tight. There it is. Plug our power back in. Just like so. and the NGK has been installed. Now, the car should start. I'm not gonna start it because we still have the intake tube and everything to put back together. But, so I'm gonna put these wiring harness pieces back on here, which are gonna be probably the harder pieces to do of this whole entire process. All right, I got that one. That one was hard to get into that hole down there. But now if I could just put this on there, start spinning it in. This one goes right here, start it. All right, that's good there. So the wiring harness and the coil pack are installed. Now what we'll do is we'll take our intake tube, make sure we don't mess up any of this. Oh wait, we gotta put this hose back on there. All right, so what we'll do is we'll put this here. Okay, there, slide it back. Okay, that's looking good. Let's get our 8mm back on here. Then we'll put this on. That's on there. Let's put this piece. Boom. And then last but not least, let's go back under here and look at this piece. And that looks like it's on there. There it is, it's done. Should we start her up and see if it's good to go? It should be. Didn't actually take too long. Let's do it, I'm actually excited. Oh man. Of course we still have to put the strut bar back on, but if we can get this started right now. Well, I'm sure it'll start, but will it start with no misfire? Oh, please. Please let it be fixed. I just want to drive this thing again. No, there's still a check engine light. Did we forget something? I'm not gonna lie, it sounds fine. I think we fixed it. I think the check engine light needs to be cleared, maybe? That's why it hasn't gone away yet. It sounds okay. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's missing anymore. Huh. Well, I mean, I think it's fixed. If it's not the coil pack, then it can be the spark plug. And if it's not either of those, then it can be a knock sensor, or it could also be your MAF sensor's a little oily. That can cause misfire as well. So I've actually had this happen before. About a year ago, we went through the same process, and it was cylinder 4 coil pack that went out. And I've been changing them one at a time, so they're probably just gonna go out one by one until all 6 are replaced. So hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next time the next one goes out. Hopefully it's just a coil pack, but we did all of the spark plugs last year, so I figured it probably wasn't the spark plugs again. But you never know, sometimes when you have a coil pack that goes out, it can actually mess up the spark plug over time if you run the car too long without it. So it's nice that we were able to get it fixed, and just by the sound of it, now that it's settled down, sounds like it's running really good. I'm probably gonna take it around the block once I get the strut bar all reinstalled and everything, but I'm excited. I'm really happy it worked. All right, here we are back in the 350Z. As you can tell, the center console's blue now, and our trip odometer has been reset back to 0, and it's because we actually pulled off the negative terminal of the battery for just about 4 or 5 minutes, let the computer basically just drain itself of all the juice. And basically what this does is it resets the computer, so it rechecks everything, and it's just a way to reset the check engine light. So if there is a problem with the motor, the check engine light will come back on while we're driving around. So I'm actually just gonna take this thing around the block because it's been a few days since I've driven this thing. Honestly, it's actually been like a week or maybe even like 8-9 days now since I've driven it. So it's gonna be so nice to get back into this thing. But as you can tell, the check engine light is gone. The car is running smooth, and we're gonna take it just down the street. It is dirty out here though. I've been driving the Miata every day for the past like 10 days now, and I love that Miata so much. Like honestly, it's so weird, but I feel like sometimes I find myself, there's something about that Miata and it's like monster truck suspension height and everything that I could just throw it into a parking lot and not have to worry about any speed bumps or like turn-ins or anything. In this thing, I'm going so slow, trying not to mess up any of the front lip or, you know, trying not to leave my front bumper in the intersection basically. So, oh man, this thing, it's running good. I honestly feel like it's even smoother than it was before we changed the coil pack. I always love how that happens. I remember last year we did all 6 spark plugs and this thing fired right up, and it just felt like a totally different car just from the spark plugs. So, all right, it's a little rainy. Oh yeah. Huh, that felt weird. is shaking. Huh. The engine's running good. It might just because it sat for like a week, the tires might still be like, one of the tires might have gotten a little low on air. That might be why it's shaking a little bit, but I just felt it kind of like this weird subtle vibration there. I'm gonna try and step on it again and see if... No, it's going, it's good. it runs. Oh, it just feels good to be back in this thing. I probably should have checked that spark plug just because I just didn't know what the condition was, but it seems to be okay, which is nice. I do know if you drive with a Coilpack that's been out for too long, it can mess up the spark plug over time, so. But it seems that is not the case here, so. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet already, and drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video, and I'll make more of them. Thank you once again so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.